Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasara Chahakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit and lawyer. And today I want to go into a topic entitled A Cleansing Journey. All right. A cleansing journey. And, you know, if you follow certain spaces on YouTube, you might hear certain things like semen retention or no fap. You might hear people talk about going raw or, raw vegan or 30 days plant-based. And you may say, well, how does this go into the spirit? How does this fit into the spirit? You might hear certain brothers mention it. You hear people speak about going celibate. All right, they've been on a celibate journey. And in my mind, I say, why is this refreshing to me? Or, when it comes to certain ways of eating, I'm not a stranger to some of those ways of eating. And I found them to be conducive to the spirit. And some of them might be looked at as an extreme. Certain things that you do could be looked at as an extreme. All right. But you have to remember, we've been feeding our flesh for the past 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, depending on how old you were when you woke up to this knowledge. So I am someone who believes that if you've been feeding your flesh, all right, whether spiritually, mentally, physically, all right, for so many decades, it doesn't hurt to have a reset. It only makes sense in a logical sense. Everything you see around you, it has a shedding phase. I used to have a ball python, and he'll shed. He'll get rid of old skin to create new skin. All right. Certain locusts and all that, they shed, you see? Or if they don't shed, just all living organisms have a cleansing system. All right. You consume food and you release food. All right. Certain animals, they'll go months hibernating, such as a bear. A bear will go months hibernating. All right. That's equivalent to the earth stop producing around the winter time. All right. There has to be a time that you just don't do anything. All right. Because of the American lifestyle, not only in a dietary sense, but also in a lifestyle sense. America never encourages you to keep going. America never encourages you to stop. All right. America never said stop. You have certain cities like New York, I think it's New York, it's coined the city that never sleeps. The city that never sleeps. New York is coined the city that never sleeps. Well, you should sleep. The Most High wired you to sleep. There are only a few occupations where people will be up in the middle of the night, and those will be watchmen for the safety of the fucking city. All right? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay? But in other cases, man, you should have sleep. The earth is sleep during winter time, and it freezes over. Typically, the earth is sleep during winter time, and it freezes over. But your body is of the earth. So there should be a moment where you're not doing, or you might be cleansing, or whatever it may have you. You might not be like that one extreme brother in your camp who could go 40 days just drinking fluids. All right. But also look at that brother's health. You know, you might not be that brother that can, you know, go 5 years celibate or whatever may have you. But, you know, you, depending on what you were going through in your personal life, that might benefit you, man. Depending on what you're struggling with, man. Not to go 5 years, but, you know, there's a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So when I hear about things like NoFap and semen retention and monk mode, it's not to just blindly place it on the body, place it on brothers, but for brothers to, extract certain things and apply it to your life, because we've been feeding our flesh for decades, man. And you have to align your diet and your lifestyle, which your diet is a lifestyle. You have to align your lifestyle with how your body is wired, how your body is made, man. America never taught you to feed your spirit. It never taught you to feed your soul. It never taught you to put wholesome things into your soul. All right. It is advertised and promoted things that overly stimulated you to where you were addicted to it. And some of us, from the time we were 10, 12, we've been watching all kinds of stuff in our phones or on the computer. All right. All of our lives, we've been eating garbage, things that were made in a laboratory that are mind altering and body altering. You see? So it'll behoove you in this truth, based off what works for you, to go on a cleansing journey. All right? You might go 3 days just eating fruit. That's part of your cleansing journey. You know? You got to check, I'm not a physician, or, on paper, I'm not a doctor and all that stuff. So you got to make sure your vitals are on point before you do certain things. But sometimes on the flip side, those things will get your vitals on point. Nonetheless, you should always check with your primary healthcare physician, things of that nature. All right, but if you've been living a certain lifestyle, it'll behoove you to turn your apartment into a temple and let that be your fulfillment. Light them incense, play certain music, turn that to your club, so to speak, man. Like I said, one thing I've learned is a man that, stepped out. I went through a space where I stepped out. When you pursue certain things and you get certain things that you want in the flesh, you don't realize that it comes with an expense. You don't realize that it brings out an animal in you. Some brothers, it doesn't. But I'm going to tell you something about overindulging in the flesh. You don't really realize it. Sometimes when you're doing too much, you don't realize you're doing too much. It's worse than what you think it is. Other people can see it, but you don't see it. All right? But one thing I've learned in this truth as a man of the Lord is that when you get those things that you covet in the flesh, it comes with an expense oftentimes. And the expense is in the spirit. The expense is in the spirit. So in order, because you have to understand, there's a duality in your body. There's a duality within you. It's your flesh against your spirit and the spirit against your flesh. Well, the kingdom of Babylon already overfeeds your flesh, which means by default, you've entered a losing battle. You've entered at a disadvantage. Esau has endorsed your flesh. All right, got all type of sponsors promoted on your flesh. Like those UFC stages or NASCAR, got all these different sponsors on a particular vehicle. Well, our body is a vehicle. So the kingdom of Babylon already has this different sponsors on your flesh. So when you were born into this world, in the Western world, you were born into a losing battle. You were born at a spiritual disadvantage. All right? Because you was born into a world that the brand and the theme of this world is live after the flesh. So when it comes to the war in your body, in your soul, the spirit against the flesh, you were already born into a disadvantage. Because you had the flesh has a home team advantage. Is in America. You see? So and you were born losing in the spirit to the point where you didn't even know you fucking had a spirit. A lot of us didn't really know we had a spirit. We thought you were your flesh. So the first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we really didn't know that we had a spirit, or there was a disconnection between our spirit and our bodies. Not all of us. Some of us knew, but a lot of us did not know. We did not move in life pouring into our spirit. And you really can't do it sufficiently until you're under Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai anyway. All right. So there's a Jacob and Esau in all of us. Jacob represents the spirit and Esau represents the flesh. Well, we're in the kingdom of Esau. So 360, everything around us is going to cater to the flesh. So we have to heal from that. It's not just about putting on fringes and opening up the word on Saturday and standing next to the sign. All right. We literally have to heal from this kingdom, man. Okay. We have to heal from this kingdom, man. The music that we've listened to growing up, man, born into the rap culture, born into the bullshit, the environment that we was around, the mindset of the environment. All right. All under a demonic culture, all under a filthy vibration. All right. You know, we have to heal from that. So there's music for your flesh that arouses your lower nature. All right, there's music for your spirit. Now, sometimes when you get off work, or I had jobs or gigs where I drove 6 hours a day or more, so I couldn't just listen to the same music all the time. I had to switch it up. Or sometimes you might de-stress, but for the most part, no, you will listen to music for the spirit. You know? And you know the difference. All right, but music is mind altering. And it can be mind altering for the good or for the bad, for the positive or the negative. Okay? Nonetheless, it alters your mind. All right. All our lives, man, we grew up eating macronutrients, fat, protein, and carbs. And it was all processed. But we never ate the micronutrients. We never ate the food that really came from the earth. Along with that, on top of eating pork, catfish, and shrimp, everything was processed. We ate things that came from laboratories that's found nowhere in nature that we call food. All these things the flesh loves, because those things were engineered to overstimulate your fucking dopamine, over-release dopamine, and all these different things. It's a freaking drug, man. All right, even when it came to a woman, man, even when it came to dealing with a woman, ever since we were young, we were promoted to extract one thing from each other, and that's sex. That's no different from taking an orange and extracting the sugar, or taking a sugar cane and extracting the sugar and discarding all the nutrients that you're going to get from the sugar cane. And they just want the sugar. Well, that's now a drug. Well, sex is now a drug. All right, it's no more this connection between you and this woman. Of course, that leads to sex, and that could lead to a family, but y'all moving in one, moving as a team, man. Nah, it's, I want to fuck. And that's it. And you just mysteriously got some fucking baby mama, or Eve mysteriously got fucking baby daddies and shit. And sometimes it do be just fair relationships, but a lot of times it is built off fucking, man. Well, fucking is a drug, man. Fucking by itself is a drug. Fucking off of lust, moving off lust, just in this world, that's like an addict, man. But guess what? This man promotes that to us, man. So I speak so like I speak as a man. But if we've overindulged in that lifestyle, and it'll behoove you to hit a reset. And sometimes a biscuit might get thrown your way and you just a man, man. I can't knock that. But just to be a fiend for that, to put all your energy behind that, you know? See, that's the fleshly way, man. Imitating what we saw on the internet, that's the fleshly way. The way you know is of the flesh, because the flesh is never satisfied. You could never be satisfied off the flesh, man. Don't get me wrong, we're in this flesh, and the flesh does have needs, but those needs were perverted. Yes, you need food to eat. Yes, you are wired to reproduce. But it was just that, it's reproduction. And yes, it's the enjoyment of your woman. You know what I mean? Enjoyment of your woman. But you know what I mean? Esau turned that shit. You got this Roman shit going on, man. You got this Roman lifestyle going on, man. You know? Like I said, a brother's business is a brother's business, and a man is gonna do what a man is gonna do. But we've been promoted surfeiting, that's the word. We've been promoted surfeiting in the flesh, man. So these certain things is brought up, like no fap, semen retention, celibacy, plant-based for a particular period of time, water cleansing. Those are all tools in your cleansing journey, man. You know? And we're not forcing a brother, hey, you should be literally a eunuch. But because Paul said what? I wish you were as I, but every man has his gift. Implying that that's a gift that every man doesn't have. But the Most High will force you into a state of celibacy, man. Especially when you first come into this truth. The first 6 months, you might not have a woman. The first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you might not have a woman, depending on your life, man. But there's a method to the madness, so to speak. All right, that engenders positivity, man. You've been in a matrix for so long, you got to unplug from the matrix. That spiritual man has to be birthed and be nourished. And the scripture says that, you know, we enjoy the milk of the scriptures, you're weaned from the breast. So we have to go through our nursing period. And oftentimes, the nursing period might come with, you might not have a job for a year or 6 months. You know, you might not have a woman for 6 months, a year. Well, you're in your nursing period, man. The new creature is in his nursing period. But that man has to unplug from the witchcrafts of this society, man. A lot of niggas ain't convert, man. The new creature was a malnourished baby. And they still feed the new creature the old man's diet, the old creature's diet, man. That's why a lot of Israelites, I'm not gonna say any names right now, they still are hooked, they still addicted to the street culture diet. Now, why are you feeding the new creature this, man? All right. You know, a lot of brothers don't want to make that sacrifice. They came into this truth in their 20s or younger, and they feel that they still want to live a certain life that they're really supposed to have sacrificed by coming into this truth, man. Okay? But look, I'm going to tell you, like, we have our temptations. We have our faults. We have our weaknesses. I myself, I stumble over bullshit, man. But those are tools. These are tools that I have mentioned that are for cleansing. You have to cleanse yourself from Babylon. You have to go through a healing period, man. You have to go through a withdrawal period. You have to withdraw from Babylon spiritually. All right? So now you know why the Most High will have you out the game for months at a time. You don't have a woman for months. That's not so you can just be fucking miserable. All right? So you can withdraw and cultivate a relationship with him. And that's something else that I want to speak on. And I believe that you could be in this truth, but not really be in the spirit. And I believe that every brother has his own relationship with Yahweh Bahasham outside, aside from being in the truth. Okay? So you have to make sure that you're going through you have a routine that for the best of your ability, to the best of your ability, you're in the spirit, man. You know, because you could be in the truth, all right, but you might not be in the spirit. You know, you could be at cruise control. All right, go to camp on Saturday. All right, whatever the camp leader has us doing, we do that. But in your own personal time, what are you developing? I do my videos. For some of us, it's kind of like default, you know, it's like cruise control. I go to camp on Saturday or Friday. I do my videos, maybe. But then it's like I do my own thing, you know? And there's nothing wrong with having your own thing. But aside from that, what I've learned is that you give yourself wholly to this ministry, man. And I'm only telling it, brothers, from experience. Like, you could be in the truth. The Most High didn't take his spirit from you fully, but you could really be at cruise control, man. You could be really set at cruise control to where you're not really pouring into Sophia, man. Because you maybe halfway in, halfway out. And certain things the Most High wants you to experience, and it might require you to not really be deeply tapped in because you got to experience certain things to grow. But ultimately, one thing I learned, bro, Akim and Akya, Aqua, that one thing I've learned is that you have to read, because reading is essential. This is the core thing of pouring into your spirit, man. This is the core thing of pouring into your spirit, and you have to have an end goal to what you're doing. You have to have an intention, and the intention is to have a pure life. All right. Something that was said to me and other brothers, like, you know, we're the sons of Yahweh. So he wants us in that pure state, man. You're not gonna get it perfect. I'm not gonna get it perfect, but your intention is to be in that pure state. And that comes with this cleansing journey, man. You know, that comes with that cleansing journey. And we don't want to be struggling over the same things we struggled 5 years ago. The same things we struggled over 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know, we have to go through a cleansing journey, man, to get into that state of purity. And once you're in that state of purity, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua will accept with you, man. It's all about that pure state, man. All right, living a pure life. And that pure life might not be identical to the next brother, because you might have a woman, you might have, you know, a certain way you eat that this brother might not eat like, or, you know, this brother might not have a woman. So, but the house of David is a brand of purity. You have to remember the laws that were given to us, all right, in the desert, at Mount Sinai. The laws that was given to us in Mount Sinai, there were laws to separate us from the heathen at that time. All right. There were laws to make a distinction between our behavior and the Canaanites' behavior at that time. All right. So a lot of those laws were centered around purity. All right. Laws of purification. If your woman is on her cycle, you know, she's in her own separate house. All right. If some of your semen gets on you, you're unclean to the evening. There's a lot of laws that reflect purity. All right. Even your clothing has to be matching attire, matching fabrics. All right. Somebody's leper, they're unclean. You hear the word unclean a lot, clean and unclean a lot, because we are a nation of purity. The Israel of Yahweh, that's a brand. It's a brand of purity, man. Okay. The Israel of Yahweh, that's a brand of purity. Or his people is a purity brand. You wouldn't think that when you see the behavior of Jake now, but they've been in the land of Babylonians for 400 years. So we've learned this low life culture from Esau Edom. Okay, from Unk. you know. But we're being healed from Babylon, and there's reality to being healed from Babylon, and there's a process of being healed from Babylon, and that comes with withdrawing from the customs of this world. You know, some brothers are gonna step out, that's cool, but you know, and all because you don't go out, that doesn't mean you're not self-sabotaging. You could be a social recluse that's self-sabotaging, man. The flesh still took over, but it's really just being pure. All right, being in that pure state where Sophia can sup with you, man, where Yahweh can sup with you. Which Yahweh Shai is wisdom. Sophia is wisdom. But I hope this makes sense. Hope brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect, Abba Babal, Kam Yashala, Shalom.